Ready? Once Upon a Time.
Near the machine.
Skynet. Once Upon a Time is on. We're gonna watch. It was on a while ago. We're late. But it is the second episode of season 7, right? 7 we're in. Once Upon a Time. The title is A Pirate's Life. It better be good.
Better be.
You ready to watch? Let's do it! Years ago, again, who knows how many, you get another paycheck, kid. Good for you.
What's the point? I'm never going to be good enough.
Oh, it's alright, kiddo.
Add the name of your favourite pirate, drop it in the water, and before you can say yo-ho-ho, and find the person you seek.
Look at that. A thing.
Convenient.
It's cool.
He's lucky to have a pirate like you.
Because you ain't my daddy.
Another realm years later.
Could be the same number of indeterminate years or a different one.
I thought you had to pour it in the ocean.
You could just pour it on the ground.
On the dirt? They come out of the dirt? Or what?
But how much water does it need? Could you spit and throw it in it?
I'm confused.
Could you just use it on a very foggy day where there's humidity?
What was that?
What was the point of that lamp?
So he's an artist as well as an author?
Apparently.
I've been trying to find where some family of mine are buried. I keep hitting dead ends. It's not exactly my department, but I'll see what I can do. Thank you.
You're not going to take their names or anything? Okay, bye.
So there's no pictures of Captain Hook in that book?
I guess not.
Why do you have to pay for a ticket for your own kid's thing?
Because your kid got taken away.
They look the same age to me.
Yeah, but she's evil because she's wearing white and tan. She is tan. She's not wearing tan. That doesn't seem like a bad place to live or sleep. That's bigger than my
It's a
apartment.
lot bigger than your place.
It's a huge place. Like, that's meant to be awful?
How come she doesn't have an accent?
I don't know.
To do it. You seem way nicer than she is.
It's because you don't have an accent.
They don't have henchmen for this.
You'd think, oh, look at that. They knew what room to show up in, too. What, Emma couldn't come?
Now,
And who are you? I'm his mother. He grew up.
I did.
You look good.
Does time move differently there, or did
Because
they
she
just
didn't
not?
age.
They just didn't age.
She's back in Storybook. She's fighting a swarm of tiny, irritating dragons.
And she couldn't be bothered to come rescue her son, you know. It's not like we base entire seasons of the show about her doing that.
Because that's what Emma wanted. If he knew what really happened, he'd drop everything and come back. She wants to let him get on with his life.
Well, I think she's wrong.
What really happened? Did she get disfigured?
We have to respect Emma's wishes.
I want her to be, like, injured and then just another actress playing her.
Some of the boys said he can't do the job. How about fake hand here?
Can they have a cop with one hand?
Oh, this is him.
I actually find,
I love
even from the
her.
first episode, I found the Tiana chick more likable than
I
the
said
Cinderella
that.
chick.
I'd rather she was the. Yeah.
The love interest or the Cinderella.
Yeah.
Unless either of you have a problem with that.
Does it pay money? Because I'll do it.
You work for me.
Organized crime.
Yeah.
In the hood.
In the hood. Those glass slippers clearly have seams on them. Can you sew into glass?
And you know that shoe is like a size 10.
Bring Henry with you. Yeah, it'll be a good chance for you two to talk.
And where's she going to hang out by the tree?
Yeah.
You drinking on the job?
Mom, he's also taking bribes and stalking people, so...
Yes.
Be careful around him, right?
I can take care of myself.
You only got one hand.
It's a twisted version of the truth. Like a cracked mirror. You know, real.
Or a pirate on crack.
If he was on crack, it'd be skinnier.
Yeah.
Bottle. It's magic. Send Henry's message to both the Captain Hooks.
You could just make more and more bottles that way.
I haven't touched a drop of rum for years.
Oh, gotcha. Is he gonna try and... Does he think they look enough alike that Emma won't know?
I think he's hoping.
Yeah. His fake hand...
But his hand was walking like that.
No,
so-
no, his fake hand moved a lot. So how does he know her? This is confusing.
Remember when...
He's dying of thirst, dying under.
He was from a wish realm, and she's
That's-
from this realm.
I know.
And if there's the same version of her, we already have a different ethnicity version of the other one, so why would this one look and be the same one?
I don't know.
Unless her and this version's world of Hook, it wouldn't look like him. It would be a different version of him. The only reason he looks like him is because he's the wish realm version of him.
I know.
I did recently acquire this. Little number.
Where were you keeping that?
Oh my god. Look at his face.
What? his blood can make him... Yeah, okay. It was like, how are they going to make that happen? But you know what? Blood. It's at the ballet. I was just thinking, why didn't you apply for the catering company? Yeah, I thought that earlier.
You do both have catering experience, right?
You ask them that once they get there.
Wow, that is a weirdly impressive move.
Kind of
I
stalkery,
like
though.
her though.
Yeah.
What's with that light switch? That
And they've shown that lamp twice. What does that mean?
Use your eyes on your hands.
Hand. Showing the lamp again.
You've been here before.
Oh, that's what. Swan.
Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
You just gonna steal them?
And why doesn't he have his keys with him?
And why do you need them?
I know. My mission too. I do.
How much time is supposed to have passed?
What? Is something going on with her?
She's like,
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah. Henry's way more suspicious than this. He wouldn't even buy that Emma wouldn't come.
I know.
Oh god, pretending to be Hook. Very Orphan Blackie.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's a failure.
What did the note say?
not a failure, Henry.
Well,
I do like that.
No, did that other Hook know that Emma has a son that's a grown man?
I don't know.
At all. I'm fine. It's just Kelly wanted me to rest, but I couldn't.
'Cause she's pregnant.
I hope.
I'm pregnant.
See? I know things. If a woman pukes or is tired
Yeah.
on a
or
TV show,
faints.
she's pregnant.
Pregnant. He's like, oh crap, I didn't sign up for a baby. He's a rotten old pirate with a heart.
Yeah, I think so. How does a crooked cop like that who keeps cycling through partners not get caught? And is like so upfront with how crooked he is the moment he meets someone. We need to be discreet. Let's stand in front of him. Backlit and everything.
Someone stole my pirate.
What? I left it right here. Oh god, I don't know which one to shoot. Aww. He was trying to be good.
I couldn't. I wouldn't get between her father and his child.
Oh, this is sad.
Oh.
I'm trying to find my daughter.
What? What?
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, please.
Someone in this room is a murderer.
Step back. You have me. Hey, leave her alone.
Whoa. Gotcha.
Are you listening to me? Turn out your pockets.
It's a different kind of evil Rumple.
Yeah.
And he didn't feel that in there when he was
It was in
running.
front of your crotch. Did he really put his hand all the way in the
Dude,
pocket?
seriously.
Oh, I give him his keys back.
Way to go, Hook.
Hook's gonna keep that bracelet.
That's why he wanted to have true love.
That's sad.
Killian?
Oh, there's two of you.
Who's that? Can you see his face? It looks like him. But all of his clothes changed, but things that were in his pocket stayed the same.
Sorry, I don't think my magic works in this realm.
I'm not even gonna try.
Find the part, name the part that's me.
And kiss him. And I'm only kissing you because you got egged down and I think your herpes are gone now.
All you need to do is believe.
Clap your hands.
Clap your hand. You're taking too long, this kid. He's gonna
And he's
die.
bleeding out.
I repaired your shirt. You should be fine. Patrick's gonna kiss him. That was
I
true
did
love.
too. That's what I thought.
But does true love fix knife wounds?
I didn't know about that part.
Don't worry about this. I'll put it back where it belongs.
Mhm.
No, you
No, you
won't.
Way too. Someday my prince will come.
I think that's.
And I don't need no man.
Thank you.
They're way too close.
Yeah.
I'm
They wouldn't even be able to focus on each other's faces. Is it really your story if you stole it from a prince?
So now we have two Hooks.
You have two mommies and two daddies.
I'm in if you are. Alright.
Let's be honest, the show is about me anyway.
Why don't
Why don't you stay too?
you come with us?
Oh my gosh.
Look, your story's not over. Maybe you need to be here to find it.
Oh, can we find another Robin?
It's not like you have anyone at home that loves you.
Well, can this be one of your operations?
Please, no, he wasn't. Don't offer
He
that
hadn't
up.
thought of it.
He'd stop doing that.
Operation next chapter.
Operation ratings grab.
Shouldn't this have been the first season, first episode?
You'd think.
Get away from get away from him. Come on. No, moms don't. You have to pull them harder.
Mom's hug like
No, no.
7 times. Where are they walking to? Oh.
Oh, what is the
What if that bean hit him in the back of the head?
I thought he was throwing something at him. Get out of here.
We don't want you anymore.
Oh, let's just touch the baby belly, which ain't even there.
Let's remind that there's a baby in there, okay? Is portal jumping good for unborn babies? Is
You know
this
what?
like
Has that been tested
12
by-
monkeys?
Yeah.
So is the Hook that's in Seattle Wish Hook?
And he's concerned about him having a daughter.
Yeah.
Searching for her, I went down in the wrong alley. And I got shot.
Chop my hand clean off.
Yeah. Oh, he's okay.
She's cool. She with me. Even though she's wearing a leather jacket and mean mugging you right now.
If we do this,
It's an operation.
Detective agency.
well, sounds like there's enough for a buck. Possibly two.
That just means we might get 2 more seasons. You notice how she had already poured herself a shot before they decided to toast? She was just back there
on the
drinking.
top, yeah. She owns the place.
Oh, slow motion shots of each one of them. Clench your jaw. Do it. Oh, like cut before it happened.
Yeah.
Everyone was all excited because Regina and Hook were going to be in the season, and it's technically not really even Hook.
It's a hook.
It's a Hook. Just be happy with that. My biggest problem with this is, like, they haven't told us how much time has passed.
I hate that.
Because that kid looks to be, like, the girl's over 10, at least.
Yeah.
Regina looks way too good. She don't age. And even before when they're just still meeting them, you could have had you would have a gap of a while for Henry to age into looking so different.
Right.
There already was a gap going from the end of last season to him being 18 and leaving home. So there's a
Right.
huge chunk of time to when he turns 18 to when he leaves to when they see him again. And then even later on that still there's a kid and they all look flawless.
They should have had Jared play that first, even the first, most of the first bit as when he meets Cinderella.
And then when the kid's older.
And then when,
Unless we're gonna do more time jumps we aren't aware of yet, or
Oh, yeah,
curses
okay.
to freeze things, but ugh. Anyway, episode opens and it's Henry, but it's Henry sword fighting with Hook, practicing on the ship, and he wants to be good enough.
he's
And
just
then
not quite good
he's
enough.
not good enough yet.
Pout,
And then
pout,
he's
pout.
pouting because then they're like, he's getting ready to leave. I know it.
Yeah,
and-
he's mature enough by pouting.
Yeah, all that
his little
pouting
skinny
tells me-
jeans and his checkered sneakers.
Tells me he's a millennial ready for the world. Hook mentions too something about that bottle where he explains how it works. This bottle we've never heard of, but you can just open and say
It didn't.
who you
make
want to
sense
send it
me.
to and a message and then just drop it in
You have
water.
to, no, you call a pirate.
It's called a pirate.
Which
That
is-
should be an app.
But I thought you had to pour it into the ocean. Apparently, you don't need an ocean, but you still could get a pirate.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the realm he's in running, looking for Cinderella, and Lady Tremaine shows up and is like, we know you're looking for her, and then he uses the bottle thing to send a message asking Hook to send him, Regina, and Emma.
Yeah.
He wanted his mommies. Then back in Seattle, Hook shows up and he asks Henry about the illustration in the book because he feels like he's known Emma before, and he's like, nope, made it up. And then Henry asks if Hook can look into where a cemetery is, which you'd think you'd be pretty sure.
Yeah.
Also, he has the internet. Look it up.
He looks at the book and he sees the image, and it's a very, very obvious
photo.
of Emma, but there's no pictures of Hook in that book.
Or anyone else, really.
Where's Ronnie? Or, well, whoever that chick that looks just like Ronnie who has a bone on her sheet.
Anyway, Cinderella chick goes to Lady Tremaine chick's office and talks to her assistant, who is the other stepsister, and wanted to pick up tickets to her daughter's ballet recital, but Lady Tremaine chick apparently turned it into a benefit, and the tickets are like $500-something bucks. And so she asked Lady Tremaine for like, can I just get a ticket? Can I have a second chance? She's like, no. Second chances are earned, and then just leaves.
And there's still only one evil sister.
Yeah, what's that about? Then back in the flashback, Lady Tremaine takes Henry to Cinderella's old room, which they
Why?
said was not shabby anyway. That was a nice room. She orders her daughter to get information out of Henry about where Cinderella is and then kill him. And she's about
And there's a guard back there that...
the guard could do it, but apparently I don't know what they're paying him for. She threatens him with a knife, but just then Regina and Hook show up and push her around, and then they're like, "Yeah, you're here." And then he even asks for Emma's, and he's like, "Oh, baby dragons." She's really busy, which Henry would not for a second believe
No.
that a tiny nuisance would keep his mom from coming. So,
Yeah.
as suspicious as he's been in past seasons, he would want to figure out why she wasn't
Yeah.
really there. But yeah, after Henry runs out of the room, which again they just showed up to rescue him, and he's like, "Let's go!" and then runs out of the room long enough for them to have a full conversation. It happens on shows a lot.
We talked about that before. It's the dumbest thing.
It's always
so
weird.
unrealistic.
There's never a time that you're all talking to your friends in the middle of like an intense thing, and then some people just get up and leave, and then stay out of the room long enough for you to have a secret side conversation without them coming back in and going, "Are you guys?
What's
are you guys
going on? I
coming?"
thought we were leaving. No, no.
But yeah, what happens is Regina's mad because Henry was lied to by Hook that the reason why Emma's not there, and she's like, "You need to tell him." He's like, "No, Emma doesn't want him to know. He'd come back."
If he finds out what happened, like,
So is there more? Is it more than? Is it more? Yeah, is it more than a baby or what? But yeah. So I guess apparently Emma doesn't want him to throw his life away and come back. So they don't want to tell Henry, but Regina's like, he should know. How did they jump the realms anyway? It's just everyone can jump realms at any given time. Because all it does is sends the message. I don't think it opens a portal for them to jump through to another realm, but whatever. I'm a cop from the bad side of the tracks. I'm a detective that doesn't play by the rules.
It's like a 70s cop.
He does, yeah. Anyway, Hook shows up for his first day with Rumple, and Rumple's like, "We got stuff to do. I know your shift doesn't start for an hour, but we got things. I got side businesses. You don't know.
I gotta put people's heads in buckets of water.
I gotta get here early enough to feather my hair out." And then Seattle, Cinderella chick. I'm just gonna keep calling her that because that's her name to me. She's sitting there with Tiana chick. That's also a name. And they're talking about some app. It's like that. I don't know if it's actually a real app. Like, isn't TaskRabbit a real app or is that something else?
I don't
anyway,
know.
it's where you can do odd jobs for people. And she's like saying you can get money this way to go see the thing. And then Henry shows up and she doesn't want to see him because she's mad at him. And he's like, "I can help you out. I can get you a ticket. I drive Uber." You don't have spare money when you drive Uber. Sorry. Swift.
Not Lyft.
Yeah, so she doesn't want his money because she's like, "I don't need no man."
That's exactly
But
right.
also it's kind of interesting that she's in dire straits financially because she's single, but whatever. Weaver takes Hook, he's still Hook, to Lady Tremaine, which I forgot what her name, Victoria, is that right? In this
Yes.
Virginia or no one knows. Goes to her office and she wants them to basically run Henry out of town or otherwise get rid of him. She also is upset because there's flowers growing apparently, and I think those are magic flowers.
And she seemed to be upset by it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if she has an inkling that there is the magic going on.
Oh yeah, I think someone mentioned too that they're like, well, it's kind of odd that they haven't expressly said she made the curse, and they're maybe kind of implying that Lady Tremaine made the curse. But I still think she definitely knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So she knows that it's the same thing. Like, oh, the clock's moving and Regina's upset. Oh, whatever. There's something new happening and she don't like it.
And that handwriting is way too good to be a little girl's handwriting.
No, that's better than mine. By far.
Yeah.
And Rumple's like, "Hey, Hook, can you take it? You're going to work for me now. I want to make sure you have the stuff." Then we got flashbacks, and Hook and Regina are with Henry, and they have the glass slipper, and Regina can't do like any kind of magic or tracking anything.
Yeah.
So Hook's like, "I'm going to go to the docks and ask around." And Regina's like, "Take Henry and you guys could talk." And he's like, nope, gotta go, bye. Then in Seattle, I'm just going to keep using their real names because I don't like new names. Rumple and Hook go to talk to Regina Roney. And he's just asking questions about Henry, but she's not. She ain't no snitch.
No.
And then she tells Hook, like, "Oh, okay, do you really know what you're getting into? Do you want to do this business with him? Because he has a lot of partners that don't stick around with him."
No, he didn't say they don't
She'll come back,
It
which
was
is
like-
good mean things. And so he's just sitting there with his eyebrows going and his jaw clenching, thinking about things. Okay, then it gets weird. Okay, so Hook goes to the docks and he runs into the other Hook, who is an older Hook from the Wish realm who met Emma. I don't know how he got to the realm. Doesn't make any sense, first of all. Also, how would he know that there was other versions of him? I mean, he'd know that there's at least one, because there's at least a Wish version of him.
Right.
But to assume that different realms who have different ethnicities and physical people being the original characters, he wouldn't even run into a Hook that looked like himself. But apparently, whatever, he's looking for Emma for some reason, because he wants, what he just says is he just wants a woman at first. You know, he also recaps that he's essentially the same person as him, but just the defining point is that there was one point in their life when they went separate ways, and he ended up sad and alone, and he ended up with Emma, but they still are essentially the same person. But then he mentions about infinite realms and so many different things. But like, what's really hard about this show is they spent so much time establishing that each realm was a different kind of story realm.
Yep.
And now they're trying to bring in, oh, there's similar but parallel but slightly different versions of all of us, and different versions of all of those different realms. Like, Okay. And then the fact that apparently Hook, anyone now can just go from realm to realm to realm.
They've been doing that.
And they still continue to talk about there's a scarcity of ways to travel through realms, but they can all do it. But this Hook, the essential part of portals is like, think about where you want to go. Couldn't he just think about the non-Wish realm that he's from? Couldn't he just think about Emma and then end up in her realm? That's happened before. The bottle is a message. Is the bottle actually what's opening these portals? Because that doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense.
It didn't explain that
And
part
so,
of it.
so if Hook, this other Hook, apparently also got an identical bottle with a message to him that Henry sent to the other Hook.
It called both hooks. Why didn't it call 17,000 of them?
Yeah, wouldn't
Infinite.
it call the infinite number of other hooks? Or no, and at the same time, how would, if he had to open a portal to go to Henry, how would he know where to go?
It just said
Because you could say that there was a reason that Regina and Hook ended up in the same room with Henry if they opened a portal and thought of Henry and got to go to him. But this Hook doesn't even know who Henry is, does he? And even if he does, how is he going to know where this Henry's at or in what situation? And why didn't he appear in front of Henry when he showed up?
exactly. That's the mess up. The other shit was stupid, but it should have been what he said. You pour it out and they show up. Well, why didn't?
But if that was the
it
case,
didn't
then
happen
he would show up.
instantaneously. It should have been out there in the forest.
But then at the same time...
They all should have shown up at the
Yeah,
forest.
but at the same time, if they were just going to show up with Henry, or if they thought of Henry and then showed up with Henry, or if the bottle even, they thought of Henry and took them to Henry, either way, this other Hook wouldn't have met up with them separately and been at the docks.
That's what I'm saying.
It-
It would have been instantaneous. So they broke their own rule.
It doesn't make sense.
'Cause they don't-
It's Once Upon a Time, Mom. Their canon is breaking their canon. You know what the thing is? I seem really mad, but I've gotten to the point of just go with it. Anyway, but old Hook is just playing the drunkard, whatever, and saying he wants to go to Emma. He thinks Emma's there because the message said, bring Emma. But Hook pushes him like, oh, you drunk old fool. And he's like, I'm not drunk, and I'm still really spry, apparently. And then he
Got a beer belly.
knocks Hook
Or
out.
Rum belly.
And rum belly, and hides him. In Seattle, Hook's feeling all conflicted, and Weaver's like, are you on my side? And he's like, yeah, I'm on your side. Let's go find out about this Henry character I just learned about. Old Hook shows up to Lady Tremaine and even says, I heard you were in this realm, which would imply either she originated in the Wish realm, or there was another version of her who looks exactly the same and is that one in this realm, which wouldn't make a whole lot of sense because the Wish realm was identical to the Once Upon a Time original realm, the Enchanted Forest. So in that story, they had a different Cinderella. So this chick wouldn't be... They had a different Lady Tremaine, too.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't make any sense, Mom.
Doesn't.
Anyway, apparently they know each other, which, whatever. And so he wants to make a trade of him getting rid of Henry, like getting him to leave the realm and to use magic or means that she might have, but just so happens she has the wand
Hidden someplace.
but she leaned down a lot to get it. Yeah, and apparently he extracted blood from original
How?
Hook. I don't know, because it was weird. He covered him up, which means he would have had to go back, uncover him, bleed
Bleed
him,
him.
tie him up, and then cover him up again.
And there's a lot of blood.
That was where'd you cut? But yeah, she uses the blood apparently and go bippity boppity whatever, and then he's young Hook. But apparently his blood also contains knowledge of what clothing he was wearing too.
Rings and everything.
Basically because his blood can duplicate the clothing he was wearing. Back in Seattle, Cinderella and Tiana are looking at that app, and then they realize there's a catering job that just so happens to be at the ballet. When they get there, Henry apparently last minute can get himself hired as a bartender, and then also say that he needs more wait staff that he's going to hire himself, and he was just fortunate enough to place the ad and have them look at it and respond to it. Hook and Rumple go to Henry's apartment, and that lamp they kept showing, they decided that was the point, that it was foreshadowing that since Hook knew how to turn the lamp on, Rumple would know that he knew Henry and not quite be honest and loyal. But then they uncover, like, oh, he clearly has kid stuff around, so he clearly had a daughter at some point, and that could be a point of vulnerability. But he wants to make sure Hook's on his side to go take down this innocent man. At the ballet, Lucy sees them together and is like, oh, okay, see, look at everything's coming true. All the magic-y magic stuff's playing out. And Tiana's like, boy, I could tell you like Cinderella, don't lie. And then Lady Tremaine's like, I gotta call up Rumpelstiltskin because Henry Mills is out working a bar at my thing, and I can't have that. But when Rumple and Hook are leaving Henry's apartment, Hook steals his keys with a little swan keychain on it. Back then, Henry is with Regina, and they're kind of talking about, like, what's happening back in Storybrooke, and she's being really vague. And then he's talking about, like, he's not sure if he should play out this story with Cinderella, but he's gonna do it. Hook shows up, and he has news that he claims he ran into Cinderella and she doesn't want to see him anymore, and even gave a letter. But I really would have loved to see what old, jaded Hook's idea of a breakup letter looked like. But it breaks Henry's heart, and he goes outside and pouts because he hasn't outgrown that yet. And Regina's like, go talk to him. He's annoying. You do it.
How do you even know where to go?
What? I don't know. Yeah, how did Hook know where to find them? Old Hook. Hook follows Henry outside, and Henry can just tell Hook's acting weird. And so he starts asking about his mom, and Hook has no clue what to say. But then Emma shows up, and she's like, oh, it's pregnant. I came late because of the pregnant. Because I was late.
It did have a very Orphan Black feel with him. It was like he was Helena trying to be
yeah, it's Helena as Sarah as Beth. And you're like, it's kind of funny to watch him playing another version of him. Henry's happy for them. Emma seems all happy, but the older Hook...
Shifty eyes.
Because he found out, Hook's going to be a daddy, and I'm going to take a daddy away from their kid, and he doesn't like that because he's got a kid missing. But yeah, and then he just decides to walk off and leave them and go...
In the woods.
And they don't chase him, they just see after him, and then I think they give him a bit of a head start because he runs into the other Hook and has enough time to fight with him before she catches up. Then back in Seattle, Weaver is at the ballet with Hook, and he decides that they're going to just frame Henry for stealing stuff, so he takes Lady Tremaine's bracelet and is like, Hook, you do it. I want you to prove you got the stuff, kiddo. He didn't say it like that, though.
That's what he's getting at.
That's the point. And then when the ballet is happening, Hook goes and, for no real reason, like, he was standing in front of Henry, like, it wasn't even subtle, and then walks... There's tons of room to walk around, but he walks directly into him and bumps Henry in the crotch, apparently, to put the whole thing in the front pocket. And you can't even play that off. Mm-mm. It's like, you didn't even try to veer out of the way, sir.
Why is your hand going
Why
there?
is your hand there, sir? But yeah, you think he's planted the bracelet, but oh no. Then at the docks, old Hook tries to find young Hook, but he's not tied up there, and then he surprises them, and they fight a lot. And then old Hook ends up getting stabbed, but he says the whole reason he's doing all of this, that he wants true love, is because he has a daughter that got taken by some evil queen. Did he say queen or someone evil? I don't know. Someone took his kid, and he used to go play chess with his kid, but there was some curse put on his heart, and that somehow made it where he couldn't save his daughter, but he wanted the curse to be broken with true love's kiss. He heard there's another version of him that has true love. He's like, hey, I'll put a skin suit of you on, and they might kiss me. Not weird at all.
Do you think Cinderella's his daughter?
Like, Cinderella is his daughter? I don't know. But at this point, the ages and the times are so weird, anyone could be his daughter.
Yeah.
Because he's an old guy.
And she's being held by someone evil.
Yeah, maybe.
And he kept
and she was mad at the prince about something about killing her father, but I don't know if that would work because if her father actually was killed and she knew, but I don't know. Someone is his kid. Then when the ballet is over, Weaver goes up and is like, guys, someone in this room stole a thing, and we question just the servers about that, and Cinderella gets all indignant about that, but Henry gets up to white knight for her, and ends up getting elbowed in the face. And then Weaver's like, hey, you turn out your pockets. And when he does, it's just his keys inside that Hook had stolen earlier. So, in one fell swoop, Henry knows Hook did something and clearly was in his house, mixed with Weaver's like, that Hook character, he's not playing by my rules. Yeah. Back with the two Hooks in flashback, old one is stabbed and thinking he's dying, so he's telling young Hook everything about his daughter. And even tries to give him a little token, which is
it's a rook.
It's a rook, I know, a token of his child. A little rook from the chessboard. And then finally Emma shows up. I don't know what she was doing. And he's like, really quickly, just don't ask questions and heal this other version of me right now. And she's like, my magic hasn't been working here. And he's like, no, you gotta believe. You love me. You can save me. And so she goes over and heals him. It's actually pretty easy.
Tells him to look in her eyes, and then she...
Look at my eyes.
Does the little...
It's gonna be okay if you believe.
Yeah.
You just gotta believe.
I wanted to clap my hands for Tinkerbell to come back alive.
But sadly, she's doing iZombie right now.
Yeah, she doesn't... Yeah.
She's not gonna come back to life. She's a zombie.
We didn't clap enough.
We didn't clap enough. She's eating brains now. And then you see that Hook has the bracelet that's worth a lot of money. He's just going to drop it in the sewers. And Weaver shows up and is like, hey, man, thought you were just going to run off with this money, but you're all noble and stuff. And despite what you think, I sought you out because you have a noble heart and he needs that somehow. But then he also told him that he took him because he seemed like he was someone that would do anything to get ahead.
Yeah.
But so, which one's the truth,
We don't
man?
know, yeah.
Then Weaver goes and meets with Lady Tremaine and is like, look, I don't work for you. Our desires or whatever, our angles have lined up right now. But you know what? That might not always be the same. So sorry about it, lady. And he goes to say, like, you don't know me, girl.
That's what it was.
Later, Henry's at the bar, and Cinderella shows up, and she just gives him a beer, and she's like, all right, we're good now. You've earned your second chance. I gotta go work. Bye. Also, one more time, I need no man. Then there's just some sweet heart-to-heart between Emma and Henry, and she wants him back, but she wants him to go live his truth and find his story. And I think... But
I started yawning right in, and then I started laughing. What does that mean? You're in the middle of your life. You don't know.
the middle of your life is your story. You
That's
just
it.
deal with life. Then the other two Hooks show up, and then she's like, I got a great idea. Why doesn't old turned young Hook stay with you and help you? Because we really need the ratings. But the whole point, I guess, is because Henry always knows the right thing to do, and this young, old Hook is needing to find the right thing to do and look for his daughter. So other Hook gives him the rook back, and it's like, go find your kid. And then he goes and talks to Regina and does the same exact thing, but then is like, why don't you stay too? Because we need both angles. We need the lesbians, and we need the straight girls that like Hook. And it was also very much like, come on, Mom, what else do you have going on
That
right
was
now?
really was implied.
He's like, you don't have a man.
You don't have a life back there. Oh my god.
You don't even have a cat. You're alone. Oh yeah, and even though for once I thought Henry had grown up and not given something an operation name, Regina recommends he do it. So he's like, Operation Next Chapter. Okay. And then so Real Hook and Emma just hug and say their goodbyes. And here's what I think is also kind of funny. Regina can't use magic in this land. She came with the clothes literally on her back. So
True.
what are they going to do? And we haven't even seen a place that Henry supposedly lives. He apparently has like a vast wardrobe that he can keep changing, but no place to go.
She was at a hearth in a little hovel.
Yeah.
So they did. Yeah.
Well, they were living like in a tree trunk when we first met Lucy. Anyway, Hook and Emma go through a portal because they just have tons of beans now. And of course they do like, let's touch her tummy before we leave, and then they go whoom and disappear. And then in Seattle, Hook is at the bar with Henry because apparently that's where he hangs out now. And he asked again about the drawing in the book, and he says that his story, this Hook story, is that when he was first a new cop, there was a missing kid, and he wanted to find the kid, but then he was in an alley one time and got shot, and some chick that looks like Emma came and did basically the same thing. Like, do you believe?
Yeah.
I'll hold your boo-boo gunshot until the ambulance comes, and he says, oh, this woman saved me. And it reminded me to be a good person and be a hero like her. But anyway, yeah, Hook is like, he thinks that there's someone at the bottom or the top, however of it.
Someone's
Doing something, and he thinks, oh, it's the Lady Tremaine chick, Madam
Belfry.
And so he's like, look, I'm a detective now. I can dig into stuff. Henry's a writer, so he can write this stuff down. And Ronnie has a bar and apparently eavesdrops on everyone's conversation. So they're like, we could be a team. We could take this down, whatever. And then they take a toast, and then slow motion it shows each one of them drink it, and then credits. It's odd. There's too many odd things to say, and this thing has died like 3 or 4 times. But
we're still along for the ride, I guess.
yeah, we're still gonna watch. I'm just gonna
We're just gonna gripe about it.
I'm just cynical as can be. Anyway, if we forgot anything, left anything out, want to talk about anything, you know.
Rate, comment. Well, can I even say that?
Rate, comment, comment. Oh, well, I can't say it either. Do the things. Rate, comment, and subscribe. That was weird. You good?
I'm good.
Till next time.